spent over 180,000 euros. As you can see, this is my Revolut, which is one of my accounts that I used to use a lot and not using it anymore. Since I started entrepreneurship, I mean, not for 3 years, but for the last year and a half, that's how much I spent. Want to be completely transparent with it, like it's completely here and you can see it, because what I see and the pattern that I see with so many people is that you guys just spend so much money. The moment that you start making money, the moment that you start getting to 5, 8, 10K a month, you feel like you're crazy. Like, you can spend all this money and everything. Some people, make the first 5K a month, they end up buying a Rolex after 2 months, literally spending everything they've made into a watch. And I'm going to explain in this video here why it makes no sense, why there's a full-on thing that you should do for yourself to safeguard yourself. I'm saying it like bro to bro, just to make you understand. I've been through these things and I can tell you like a little bit how to get yourself in a better position, because I would have been in a way better position if I was way more careful for these 2 years instead of just going through lifestyle inflation. And this is what I'm going to be explaining in this video here. So I just recorded this on my computer. The rest is going to be on my phone. All right, we're here. We big, we clean. If you want to spend money, at least spend it with some good designs. Thankfully, I live in Italy, so things here are not even that expensive and very high quality. So, I mean, get yourself a nice polo shirt, get yourself a nice shirt to put with the suit as well. Like I got 3 different suits, a lot of different polo shirts, but most of that money that I've showed there, I mean, not most, but an amount, a certain percentage, was because I just lost a lot of money as well. And I'm gonna tell you a little story, right? I'm gonna tell you a little story. So, as I said, guys, once you start making money, and I'm gonna come into that, what usually happens to people, at 90% of people, is they all succumb to lifestyle inflation. Okay, what is lifestyle inflation? Is when you start making money, your lifestyle goes and matches how much you're making. Okay, so this I've seen so many times. So many people, just the moment that they start making some money, they start splurging it everywhere, going in trips, going like when I got a really good month with closing and with the business that I had in November of 2023, I was a reckless 18-year-old kid, and there was this networking event in Dubai that cost 2K. Boom, I just spent that without even thinking about it, because that month it went pretty well, it was over 5 figures, right? And I just spent 2K at the networking event. Then we decided, let's just, rent a Lambo for 3 days. But that's what we did. We rented a Lambo for 3 days, had, a lot of fun. It was a really cool experience, spent a lot. We even had a villa that was next to Iman Gadzhi's. I'm gonna show you guys a couple videos, maybe attach them here on all the experience. And the whole trip in and of itself probably cost like 10K, right? 10, 12K. And now, if I think about it, was it worth it? A part of me says yes, because I had a lot of fun and I was super into it, and I met some good people. But even now that I think about it, all the people that I ended up meeting there, most of the people were snakes. Most of the people were scammers that ended up, I did have a collaboration, but then ended up not being genuine people. So honestly, in a certain way, it got a bad impact on my life more than a good impact, right? Would I do it again? I don't know. I would have said yes a couple months ago, but now that I'm thinking about it, and now that my values are different, I don't know, right? But this is just an example. At the moment that I got into it, and so many people, I see this so many times, get into this type of thing, and some people that, you would never expect, that got really good results. They look very influential on Instagram, on YouTube, on different platforms. These people spend all they make, and then they literally go as a 9 to 5er, paycheck to paycheck. Every month they make 10,000, they spend 10,000, they're back at zero. They make 10,000, they're making cash flow, but then at the end of the month they're at zero with their bank accounts, or they're at almost nothing. And sometimes I had some people that you'd never expect asking me money, which is crazy, right? Because everything is not it's all smoke and mirrors at the end of the day. All these gurus, rich people that are looking like that, right? And I wanted to start this video with a pretty much a clickbait thing, showing how much I spent, because it's something that I myself have not appreciated enough, the amount of work, not the money. Who cares about the money? Nobody should care about the money. You should have zero respect for money. One of the mottos that I say, and I have written again and again in this little notebook here, is money is infinite and easily obtainable, right? So how can you have respect for something that is infinite? That's a mindset thing to make you understand that it's super easily obtainable and that anybody can make it, right? To have that abundance mindset, but at least appreciate the work that you did, right? In the last 2 years, I've worked my ass off in making those type of that type of money, those type of results, those type of that type of income, 10, 12, 15K a month. And at the end of the day, I ended up not having respect, not for the money that I made, but for the work that I made, because I ended up, splurging, traveling, going around the world, which, as I said, I have not made up my mind with whether, it's something that I want to, that it is a good thing or not. It is for certain things, certain like experiences, like with my girl, going to Budapest, going to Romania to see my business partner, going to Switzerland, going to different places that I've been to. For sure, those were really good experiences. Warsaw, I mean, I've been to Warsaw 4 times. I mean, even there, some were worth it. Some were like my girl. Some maybe were not, right? Like I've traveled a lot and I've done a lot of things. And at a certain point, I'm going to tell you guys this story. In September, I was about to get my first Rolex. I found the exact Rolex that I wanted to get. And I had this mindset of like, okay, let me just get to the end of the month. I was having a really good month with a lot of different things. I was also doing trading at the time. And long story short is that I lost a lot of money. Not gonna say the number, but it was multiple 5 figures in trading. And that made me understand, okay, I should just stick on sales, stick on what I know, stick on the managing, and do those type of things there, right? And at that point, I had the appointment scheduled with the Rolex guys in Verona in Italy. It was like 3 days later, and 3 days before I lost that money. And I was like, no, now I'm not in the fucking mood of, buying a 10K Rolex. I just, lost more than that. I got to make that back and more, right? And that's essentially what I did in the last months, right? And I've been able to get to the best months possible after that. So it's actually a positive thing that happened to me in a way, but that's another lesson, how mistakes have to happen in your life, because otherwise you become arrogant. But this just makes you understand that at a certain point, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be making some money, 5K, 7K, 10K, maybe even 15K a month, right? And you're kind of not going to have respect for the work that you had and just splurge all the money, which makes no sense. You have to be careful, bro. You have to understand that, well, you don't want to end up in a position where, right now I could be way more secure, way more just economically wealthy, right? I am still, for somebody my age, I'm very wealthy. I have resources. I can do pretty much whatever I want. I can't buy a Patek, but maybe I could have bought a Patek, right? If I didn't just for 2 years recklessly spend, right? A Patek is like 100 grand. So that's just an example, right? So in that case this is just a little rant of mine, just to make you understand that, it's not all, awesome. Sometimes, there's bad things that happen, and just to make you understand that once you get to a certain point, you need to understand, okay, I got to 5K, 10K, 15K a month. I'm going to get to more. I'm going to just behave the exact way that I behaved when I didn't make that money. And if you just live below your means and behave the exact same way, 3 years from now, you're going to have stacked up like 400 or 500K, man. And now you're with like 500K in the bank. The feeling of security once you have 6 figures in the bank, bro, it's insane, right? That's what you can have, right? But you're never going to have that if you make 10K, you spend 10K, you make another 10K, you spend another 10K, right? So it's very, very important. So it seems like I'm an old, granny saying live below your means, save up and everything. But for some things, and there's this culture, this fucking like spend culture because abundance and everything. Sure, but then if you just spend all you make and then you go back at zero at the end of the month, what separates you from a guy that's making, that's having a 9 to 5, that's working paycheck to paycheck? There's no difference, right? So this is very important, bro. Just behave the same way you were behaving when you were not making money, when you're making a lot of money. So you stack a lot of cash for you, for the people that matter to you, that are important for you. And that's my lesson for today, guys. So hopefully this was a pretty deep thing, like something very personal for me. So hopefully you got value in this. And guys, we're going to see you in the next video. Hope you rate the haircut. I mean, we're going to see, it looks kind of clean though, not going to lie. I look a little Eastern European. But we're here with the dog. And guys, peace.